Hi, this is Ubi Fair. Welcome to Future Tailors in Amsterdam. I want to spend some time today to record this video about the pain that is being developing and adding 3D assets to Eagle libraries. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I love Autodesk products. I'm very happy to pay the price every year to renew my subscriptions to Eagle and Fusion 360. But still, I believe that the way that managed libraries and 3D assets for packages are handled right now is definitely something that is there. I mean, it didn't used to be there, but it could be handled better. I don't exactly have a solution for this. I just know that as things are at the moment, it's really painful. I made a small schematic just so we can see what I mean with this. If you have tried to create your own 3D assets and adding them to your own managed libraries, you know that the process is really slow. Sometimes to make a library of, I don't know, 15 components, it may take a whole day. And I don't know why. I'm sitting on a 100 megabit connection upstream and downstream, and this thing is just not um, it's, it's just not working. Let's put it this way. So let's put it in these terms. I made this small schematic. It's just a coin cell battery, a resistor, an LED, and these components are taken from my own library. I mean, not this one. So let's do replace. This is already wrong. I'm gonna use the battery, the one with, I called it 4 legs. So some of these are parts, actually this one is a part that I designed myself. And I also made a 3D package for this one. So I'm going to replace it, and I'm going to check to make sure that the other parts are coming from the right library. They are. This is not, so replace an LED, and I'm going to use 0603, and I'm going to replace this LED now. So I'm going to save, and you can see I already made a small board. It's just a circular board with a dimension, and these are the components. So the resistor, the LED, and the coin cell battery. This is not anything useful. This is just for the purpose of demonstrating how slow the whole process can be. I have these components, and they are in my library. So let's take, for example, this battery. This battery has different package shapes. This is the one that we want to use, and let's look at it. It's battery Batcon 20 millimeters, 4 legs. So I don't have a 3D model, and I want to add one. I cannot create one with a package manager, of course. I can add one from the web, and this is the first moment where things don't go the way that I want them, right? So I can add them from the web. I don't have this connector, so let's look for it. This is clearly a web view on what's stored on the server. So coin cell, I'm going to search for this, and many times I have no clue why these stay as loading symbols and stuff doesn't show up. And as I said, I'm sitting on a really fast connection. Everything works beautifully except this. So let's say that I can't find this one clearly. Oh, this one is the 20 legs overpaced So it added a new 3D package here, but I cannot preview it. So if you see here, there's no preview. And it's painful because you don't know what you added, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to, well, the only option that I have is to go and manage this library online in order to add my own 3D model. My 3D model has already been created. You can see it here. It's created in the right way to be aligned properly, so aligned to the origin. And this is a fusion model, so what I want to do, I want to export it as a step, right? So I go and create my own step file, battery. What do we call this one? We call it, let's see, Batcon 20 millimeters for legs. So Batcon 20 millimeters for legs. It's underscores. Let's use underscores. And let's see where this takes us. I want to save it in, well, on my desktop for now. And I add it. I also have another model which I took from somewhere else, and what's wrong with this, I don't remember where I downloaded this, possibly from somewhere on GitHub, but you can see that the origin is really far away from this. So the alignment of this particular component is not going to be great, but we don't care for now. So we're going to work with this model which I made a few months ago. I've exported the step model, and now what I want to do, well, I have no other option but to go and view this library on the web. This is something else that I don't like. So first thing that it does, it opens the default system browser. The default system browser for me is Safari. And of course, I'm here welcomed by this message. For an optimal experience, please consider using Chrome. As far as I've experienced, Safari works okay. The only thing that I had a problem with, and it's possibly a bug, I accidentally tried to upload a 3D file which was STL rather than step, and the window just hung there, and I saw some errors in the background, but nothing that made sense. And then when I did it from Chrome, I tried to upload the STL, and it gave me an error that I was supposed to upload a step file. So I did that, but for now, let's see from Safari, and we're gonna find our battery. It's here. So I already have another problem with the UI here. I'm not trying to be just critical about it, just, you know, for the sake of it. I want to see if Autodesk is open to discussing this with me and with other designers in order to make this a less painful process for all of us, because we all need 3D models. So look, I have just clicked this package, and it takes a while. It takes longer than a while to load, right? I don't really have a 3D model here, but I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for this thing to preload a model. And here we are. So this symbol says that I have a missing 3D package, and I'm fine with it. So for now, what I want to do, I want to add my 4 legs component here. So I can go here, and the UI takes me to the right side of this interface. where I basically have to select this. So I'm on this. This is where the symbol is, right? I don't have a way to edit this one. I have to click underneath and then the edit button appears, right? On the edit button, I can just go and edit my 3D model. This thing is going to open into another tab and it's going to show me a 3D view. So I'm already at step 3, right? And I still am nowhere any closer to being able to upload my model. So look, finally, okay, loaded. Now this is a slab of 3D object. And this is something that I also find really annoying. When I go to the bottom, I cannot see my component anymore. So I have to do this. Option, show board. I really want to be able to see my footprint from the bottom. But maybe it's just me, all right? I usually disable this one, but I have to go. It doesn't remember all the stuff. What I want to do now, I want to add a model, but let's say that I want to do it from the components which are already existing, right? Coin. I want to write coin. In my models, there's nothing. Suggested models. There's also no loading progress. You have no idea what's going on here. I don't know. And you've seen it's really slow to load some content resources. If I go to all models, nothing. I have no idea what's going on. So I'm just gonna, well, I'm just gonna take this one out. I'm going to upload my step file. And here I can go to my desktop and it's going to be Batcon 20 millimeters for legs. Even the uploading is not really an heavy thing, right? So let me see. Desktop Batcoin, it's 14 kilobytes. Okay. So for whatever reason, not all my model worked out, only the battery came out. Let's go back into Fusion and see. Yeah, of course, I have selected the battery rather than the body of my battery coin cell holder. So what I want to do, I want to export this one. Well, this is not gonna let me do it. Why? Because I need a component. Now I can export, and I want to export it on my desktop, and I want to call it Batcon 20 millimeters for legs. I exported this Batcon, and as usual I made the mistake of exporting this one as a Fusion 3D because Fusion does not remember the last setting. Once again, Batcon underscore 20 millimeters for legs. Do you want to replace it? Yes. Now I believe we have what we need. Let's go back into Safari and upload our step model. Here it is. Choose. So you can already see that from the position of the battery, the way that I have aligned my component inside Fusion, the way that I built it, makes sure that if it's not doing anything. So, well, what I was saying is that if the eagle component footprint is designed properly, which means aligned at the very center, the alignment of the 3D model will be preserved. So this is not doing anything. Chapter for legs, choose. Okay, I want to do remove custom model, and then I want to re-upload my model and see if anything happens, but no, nothing is happening. So what I want to do, I want to use Chrome, because you know, maybe some error happened somewhere. You see I have 3 errors. Failed to load resource. There's a JS that doesn't get loaded. So let's listen to what Autodesk tells us, and let's use a better browser. Alright, I really don't like the fact that people get stuck on just using Chrome. I mean, okay, so I do not remember ever where this stuff is, so I have to copy it, because sometimes you have to go to circuits.io, sometimes to library.io, library editor.library.io, and it gets, you know, that there is not really a consistent way of finding what you're looking for. So in here, well, I have to log in again, my password, then I have to wait for my I have to wait for my code to come in, and it's 331421, and I enter the code, and well, let's see if we are back at it. So, okay, I want to upload my step model. I'm going to go and find that model. It's a step, there it is. So it's finally uploading. And I don't know if the problem with uploading came from Safari getting stuck somehow, but in Chrome it seems to be way more reliable. Okay, so you can see that this one is perfectly aligned. And now I have finally added my personal 3D model to this package, right? Now, here's where it gets confusing again. This thing is saved. It says that it's saved. It's up here. I'm not making this up, but it's a draft. So if I click draft, I get the option to create a new version. I don't want to create a new version. I just want this 3D model to be associated to this 3D package so that it's connected into my managed library. All right? And when you do this at least 15 times a day, especially if you're creating your own library, this gets so frustrating that you really don't want to have anyone to blame this on to. All right, so I'm going to create a new version, version 2, no description. Well, let's add a description. Added a step model, and I create it. Just a moment, it's creating version 2. Version 1, there's no way to delete it. It's here. Version 1 is here, period. Version 2, I cannot delete it, I cannot revert, at least I cannot find a place to revert to what I was, where I was before. So if you let me create another version, give me the option to go back, or just let me just save it, override it, and period. And maybe if I want to dig deeper, I can find the previous versions. I don't think that for most libraries that we find, there is so much redundancy out there that some of these models should be just centralized on their server, right? But I mean, I'm nobody to decide this now. So what I want to do, I want to go back to my library, and well, the UI doesn't help me. So I have this on the left here. Well, you cannot see. So top left, I have a circuit. top right, I have another circuit, so it's the same icon, but they take me to two different places. This one takes me to package, and this one takes me to my library. So package does nothing, although it's clickable. I'm going to go to library on the left, and here is my library. Feature tailors, I'm going to open it, and you see it's a different tab. So the UI is sparse, to say the least. It's just scattered all over. So here is my library, and you see update all, because it knows that I have changed one component. And it's asking me to update all, but what does it mean? Right, so I say, okay, well, I updated a component, let's update all, updating the library to the latest version of all the assets. It makes sense. If you read through it, you know, before it's confusing, and then it's a little bit clearer, but it's not a masterpiece of clear. Let's put it in these terms. And this updating library to the latest version of all the assets can take a while. So imagine you do it like 20 times. Update complete, your library is now using the latest version of all packages. Would you like to create a new version of your library at this time? And this is tricky because if you don't, you're not going to see your changes. I have tried this. If you do cancel, like I don't want to create it now, maybe you can create it later, but you go back to Eagle and the library is not there. But let's say create. So now I'm at version 13. Last night it was at version 1, right? I've added some components and then I made some changes. Version 13, fine. What do I have here? Well, let's look at our battery. And all the battery symbols are missing except this one. Batcon 20 millimeters, and here. It's really satisfying when you manage to, right? So now we need to go back to Eagle because we want to use this 3D model. We want to, well, update our library locally so that it reflects the changes that we have made on the web. And let's do this. Well, where do I do this? So, bear with me. I have this 3D model, right? So you see that this is version 12. It says at the top. So version 12, well, which version was I working on? Version 13, which means that I need to do something. And the first thing that comes to mind is, well, this menu, update to the latest version. Updates to your library are available. Would you like to update? Yes. But you still need to go scavenge for these commands. It's not really intuitive where they are in the interface. And I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that Eagle's UI comes from years of German engineering, to put it bluntly. But it's once you get used to the workflows, you can work with it, right? So now it's updating the library to version 13, and this is also something that can take a while. And we're stuck here waiting. So let's see. Oh, okay. Update complete. Finally. Now let's go here. And I've updated my library, but this component, which is the battery thingy, look, it comes from Future Tailors version 12. So what do I do now? Well, I'm gonna try with this. Update all. The library update has modified the board. Well, let's see. I have to say that sometimes this bears no fruits. Fantastic. Okay, it worked. I don't know why yesterday it didn't work. So now, if I go and create, well, I want to do it for something else, but I want to use my 3D model of the resistor and the LED. First, let's try to sync this one to a new design in Fusion, because at the end of the day, the only thing that you want to do is create your 3D assets so that you can design your cases around it. Here you see that I'm missing a 3D model for LED 2 and for resistor 1. I'm not going to push this one. I'm going to close it. And I want to see why I don't have this. So LED 0603 and LED 0603. Once again, here I have no preview. Let's see if our battery connector with 4 legs has a preview now, and it does. It's like a pre-rendered shaded version. I don't care. I know that I have a 3D model. But if I don't, I really want to see something here. I don't want to see empty space. Okay. So our LED is here. LED 0603. I want to add a package from web. Let's follow this other path and see. I'm gonna type LED in here. Cheap LED 0603. I'm gonna trust the system. And LED 0603. I do not have a preview, which is very disappointing. So LED 0603, there should be a preview here. Fine, we don't have it. Let's see if it works when we export it, right? Then I have a resistor, which is 0603, and let's figure out which one it is. This one, 0603 mini. This is still taken from version 12. Okay. This is version 13. 0603 LED 0603 and chip LED 0603. I have no idea which 3D package is associated with this one, so I'm gonna try this. This is gonna be the model associated. LED 0603. Still, I don't have an association. So if I have a component selected here and I'm able to use this bottom menu, I should be able to add this particular model from the web. But apparently I'm not. Fine. I'm going to save this library. I'm going to update all, and let's see. The resistor still takes from version 12, and this one takes from version 12, and this one takes from version 13. So we need to replace the component, and trust me, this is there's no reason for this to be this way, right? If you can find one, please just help me understand. So I'm gonna have LED 0603, the 3D package should be here. It says that there's a 3D package, and I'm going to replace the LED. Again, there's no visual feedback or anything. No. Replace 0603. Fisher Taylor's version 13. So 0603. Okay. I'm going to replace this. Version 12. Still, There is no way to replace this. I'm going to add this one. This one comes from version 12. So again, this thing is not working. At least it's not doing what it's supposed to do, right? I want to close this, and I want to, basically I just want to add my LED from the very last version that I created. This one comes from Future Tailor's version 13 plus edits. So it's really not me. Okay, I want to add it. I want to retrieve info about this component. It still comes from version 12, which means that there's no real way to achieve this easily. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to guess and open the library manager. I'm going to see available to me. I'm going to look for future tailors. There is nothing. Future tailors. This one is created by me. There's no update. There's nothing that I can do. I just don't know how to do it. So let's say that I want to add something else, like another battery connector for legs. Info. This one comes from the right library. But the LED will not come from the right library. It will come from a previous version of the library. Version 12. There it is. Okay, I will ignore this, erase, I will save this, and I will try another update all, which has no point. So I'm going to try and create another model. Well, I'm going to try and create the same model from scratch into kind of a catch-all folder in my Fusion. The battery connector is there, the LED and the resistor are not. Still gonna push it. And well, we've been recording half an hour and I think you've had enough of this. I just want to show you that at some point some of the 3D stuff ends up in Fusion, successfully created. Now I can go into Fusion and find my various models. So let's see, there it is. So I do have my footprint. Well, this is supposed to be on the other side. And this is just a bounding box and the sizes are kind of correct, but those are not the models from our library. So as you can see, I have had no way of adding a resistor model or an LED model into that library. So possibly if I go and shut down Eagle and I reload everything in the browser, then I reload it into another browser, Chrome, and then I save and I create a new version of every component, and from that point I do an update all and I create a new version of my library. Then I can go back to Eagle and run some magical update all, which is going to tell me the library is updated, and then I'm able to put my model in there. But as things are right now, I really don't know how other designers are doing this. I know that it's extremely frustrating. It's something that I have to deal with almost on a daily basis, especially when I work on hybrid projects which span over electronics and 3D design. And I mean, I cope with it. I just know that it's not right, that you have to cope with it rather than having a workflow that works. And I hope that, I mean, I know that the folks at Autodesk, both Eagle and Fusion, they're always very helpful. They comment back on the issues, they get in touch with you. Even over Twitter, David Mellis has been replying to a couple of messages. Uh, and I know those guys are up to here with work to do. Uh, it's just that as a final user that pays a decent amount of money for a good piece of software every year. This is my third year or fourth doing Fusion 360, and I've had an Eagle license since it was CADSoft, so many years ago. I'm very happy to pay the price. I just would like to have something that works and that makes my life easier rather than making it miserable. So I know that many other people are going to be with me on this, and I really hope that Autodesk gets in touch or is. I know that they're open to discussion. I just want to be, want to try and be a part of it. I want to be offering my time to them as a, I don't know, beta tester or just helping them come up with a solution because this is really necessary. This thing needs to happen sooner rather than later, or they're gonna lose the lead that they're taking on the market. Still, Eagle for life. So thank you very much for being with me. I hope that this has not been too long for you. Thank you.